Professor Rob Boss, and I'm here to present you with some basic information on how to coat your screens. So let's begin by looking at the basic elements that you'll need for the screen coating process. So for coating your screens, you're going to need a number of items. Perhaps the most important is the actual screen emulsion. The screen emulsion will be stored in the refrigerator in the coating room, and it's a good idea, if you can, to bring it out about 10 to 15 minutes before you coat in order to let it get up to room temperature. In addition to that, you want to make sure for safety that you have gloves, and in addition to that, a little bit of paper towel for cleanup and some of the cards that we use in screen printing, again for cleanup. You'll need a ladle such as this and also a spatula. The ladle will be for loading the scoop coater, the spatula you use for cleaning up. We also frequently use a large bowl like this to hold some of the elements after we've worked with them to eliminate having spills in the area. In addition to that, you're going to need an actual scoop coater, which is on the shelves out near the sink in the screen printing room. And obviously, you're also going to need the screen that you'll do your coating with. Now that we know the basic elements that we'll need for coating, what we're going to do is actually proceed and demonstrate the procedure. Firstly, it's a good idea to have an apron or a smock on to help eliminate the risk of getting any of the emulsion on your clothes. In addition, for safety, you want to make sure that you wear a good pair of sturdy gloves, such as these that we often use in screen printing. And I'll place those gloves on now. In the event you inadvertently get emulsion on your skin, just simply make sure that you wash it off with sufficient amount of water as quickly as possible. If it's on your clothing, again, you'll want to try to rinse it or remove it from your clothing as quickly as you can. So for the actual coating process, we're going to go to our emulsion bucket now, and we're going to open the emulsion bucket like this, and we're going to get our scoop coater. We'll take the scoop coater, and then with our ladle in hand, we're going to load the scoop coater. We'll bring the emulsion into the ladle and fill the scoop coater with the emulsion from the ladle. It does not need to be filled up to the top. One ladle will provide plenty of emulsion for the coating process. I'll temporarily place the ladle in that large bowl and be prepared to clean it after I've done the actual coating. I'm going to go over to my screen now, and I'm ready to do the coating. I'll hold the scoop coater like this in the center of the scoop coater. I'll take my screen and I'll bend at the knees to come down and place the scoop coater about an inch from the bottom of the screen. And then I'll roll the scoop coater up, and in doing so, I'll actually allow that emulsion to roll forward in the scoop coater so that it contacts the entire screen along the entire edge of the scoop coater. I can speed that up a little bit by leaning the screen forward some. Once the emulsion has touched all of the screen, I'll roll the scoop coater back slightly, just a couple of degrees, and pull the scoop coater up along the screen like this until I get about an inch from the top of the screen, at which point I will gently rock the scoop coater back and forth and pull it away from the screen. I need to coat both sides of the screen, so I will place the scoop coater again at the bottom and repeat this process, rolling the emulsion forward as I did before, making sure that it touches all along the edge of the scoop coater on the screen, and then again pulling the scoop coater up slowly and gently till I reach the top of the screen, rolling the scoop coater back, and again I can tilt the screen if that helps speed that up. And once the emulsion is back in the scoop coater, I remove it from the screen. I can then set the scoop coater down, and I'm in a low light area so the screen can stay here till I'm ready to put it away, but I'll tools that I use. So I'll take my spatula and I'll remove the excess emulsion from the ladle that I used just a few minutes ago and put the excess back into the bucket. Now, if any of the material has gotten contaminated, you will not want to return it to the bucket. Make sure that anything you put back is clean. So again, I can use my spatula to do a very thorough cleaning of the scoop coater to make sure I get as much of the unused material back into the bucket. And once I do that, I can set all of these elements in or on the bowl, and I want to make sure that I close the bucket of emulsion and close it securely so that the emulsion won't dry out, and return the emulsion bucket to the refrigerator as soon as possible. All the elements that were used for coating, the ladle, the spatula, and the scoop coater, all need to be thoroughly washed in warm water in the sink. The screen that you just coated will need to be stored in a dark space until it's dry. The screen is not particularly light sensitive until the emulsion is actually dry. And it's important to note that it's not particularly sensitive to light. So you actually can, for instance, walk down the hallway with it, even though the screen is dry. That limited amount of light will not expose it. So that's a quick review of the coating process, and I hope that that will help you in coating your screens and to feel confident that you have the procedure correct.